When someone mentions tie and dye, what comes to mind is African women dressed in colorful patterned dresses. Adire means tie and dye, a material that uses a resist method that produces patterned designs with dazzling tints and hues. And around the world, there are techniques that have been passed down from generations to generations that are indigenous to countries such as the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria. I welcome you to Creative Lounge. My name is Ahmed Mohamed Bello, your favorite Duke and your favorite show. Don't go nowhere, we'll be right back. You're welcome back, and it's still Creative Lounge, and with me today on Creative Lounge is Mr. Abimbola Oluwalowose. He's the workshop manager of Nike Art Gallery. You're welcome to Creative Lounge.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed.
I love what you're wearing.
Oh yes, thank you so much. Actually, it's one of my work, one of my products. Yes.
Is this batik or tie and dye?
Yes, actually complete now. My trouser is tie and dye because tie and dye means adire.
Okay.
You know, what people call this work now is adire. But no, adire actually is one of the methods under Kampala. We have Kampala, we have batik. So my shirt is batik, my trouser is Kampala. But under Kampala, we have different kind of method. But one of the method is called tie and dye, which is adire. Adire, we tie it and we dye it. Just look at, for instance, look at my trouser now.
Yeah.
It's completely blue. You can see some other line, which is a white. So those lines there, I use rope to tie those such part because fabric is a white before. And I pick the fabric, I pick a rope, and I tie this part that you see the white because the effect of the rope to the fabric, it prevents the color of the fabric from the dye. So all the parts I tie here did not get into the color of navy blue.
Okay,
so
I get that. So the part you don't want the color to get to is the part you tie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's part I tie.
Okay.
But like the shirt, this one is candle wax batik. It's a method of using candle wax to design on a fabric and then dye it to desired color. So when we dye it to the color, all the effect of the wax to the fabric, it prevents the color of the fabric from all the parts that we design the fabric that are not getting to it. So we dye it to the color. And then later we soak the hot water to remove the wax. Then it becomes a fabric like this.
Okay. Well, before we move into the technicalities of tie and dye, can you tell us the origin of tie and dye? Okay.
Actually, in different different countries and different parts of the world, like in Asia, in America, everybody have their way. They actually started their own batik or Kampala as well too. But looking at the way of Africa, ways back in the olden days, sometimes there's a time that people normally go to the fabric, they get the cotton, and then that cotton, they remove the seed from it, and they convert it to thread, and then they make a loom with wood, and then somebody converted that particular thread to the fabric.
Okay.
So you get a time when it's like dirty, they look at it, they can just throw it away. Some people also came back to another investment because they discovered that a particular leaf, which is called indigo leaf. We call it a weirdo. So that particular leaf, what they do mostly before is that if people want to go to the wall or maybe a warrior, they can use it to rub their gun so they can shine, or inside the building to rub it so that it can turn to like very dark blue. So people come together and say, okay, of course, these two can make the color to change, and then they start processing that particular leaf. So when they soak the fabric into it, they get a plain color. So get a time that they discover that, how come if they discover that on part now, maybe something they just place on it, the color will more darker than others. Okay, of course, they discover that, let's begin to use raffia, like raffia grass. There's no rope then. They use raffia grass to tie some part of the fabric, and then they dye it. So when they dye it, and then they lose the raffia, so the raffia will give it the effect. All the part they tie the raffia, and the dye will not get it to the place. Actually, that's like the origin of the tie and dye.
And I heard somewhere that it's originally from Ogun State.
Not Ogun State, from Osun State.
Okay.
Because looking at they used to call a place in Osun they call Osogbo. They call Osogbo Iluaru. That means Osogbo, a place where they produce dye. And sometimes they make a proverb that Osogbo Ilu Aro ni Mbelo Osogbo. That means there's a dye in Osogbo that make women to love Osogbo.
Okay.
And there's a particular woman that was making a dye in Osogbo at that time. And later, they took the dye leaf as well to Ibadan. But one of Balogun from Abeokuta married from Ibadan. And then they took the Elu leaf to Abeokuta as well too. They started producing it in Abeokuta in massive. But what there is that in Abeokuta, they grow so fast by making it by having a big market.
Okay.
And also they do like a stamping to, if someone need order for like a mass productions, they're good in that. But the origin of this batik of our adire is in Osogbo. Yes.
So what's the difference between this tie and dye and the one they produce in Kano? There's a dye pit in Kano.
Yes.
In Koforimata.
What's
the difference
between
this and that?
Yes, the one they do in Kano is that they don't do batik mostly. They do like just plain, and they do indigo, or they do like a tie and dye. And also before in a Kano, the only as well because they discover how to be using leaf as well to produce that. And apart from that one, in a Kano in the olden days too, they get brown color from cola. Okay. They will pound the cola, and then because people that have not hit cola nut always, you can look at their teeth actually can look brown. So discover that you can get the color from it. So they will pound the cola. So when they soak it and then you can become fermented. So when you dip the fabric into it, they achieve brown from it as well too. So before that time in the east and the north, they make use of that one to achieve brown in during this. But look at that one they produce as well too, because like in Osun, the one they do in Osun, we do like a cassava, we use a cassava piece to design on a fabric. Okay. For us to achieve the pattern. In the olden days, our early mother would go to the farm and get the cassava, soak into the water, and then convert that particular one to the powder later. They call it like amala. So that amala, they make it so watery, and they have their tools. Which the tools they use chicken feather, they use piece of broom, I use small knife.
To get patterns?
To get patterns. Chicken feather, they when deep chicken feather in the powder, they are in the cassava paste, bring it on the fabric, they have like something like a cuff and a circle, anything they want to do. If they don't think like a line, they use piece of broom to make those lines. They want touch to be there, they use small pointed knife, and then they touch it, and then get it. So when they get it, the design of the fabric like that with cassava paste, then they don't discover candle wax. Then they allow it to dry on the fabric, and after it dry, then they dye it with the indigo color.
So you get indigo color from the leaf.
Yes.
You get brown from kola nut.
From kola nut.
How do you get other colors? Because I've seen some fabrics with red and all
red
that.
and that. There are most other color, all those ones, we import them.
Okay.
Yes, this one are foreign color. We use chemical to mix it.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no color that is not achievable?
There's no color that is not achievable. You can have yellow, red, green, all those ones we import most of this color.
So to make a fabric, how long does it take to make one? For example, what you're wearing
What I'm wearing. Okay, actually, like this one, like trouser now, is something I can make in a day. My shirt too, I can make it in 2 days, but I want to, this one I'm wearing now, I need to, it can be like 3 days or like 1 week sometimes. Okay. Because if you look at it, it's a multicolor. So and one color is a waxing. So one color I have to dry before I begin to light my candle wax and start working on it again. So I apply each of the color in 1 week. After it has been dry, you have to apply another color to get this one.
For example, what you're wearing now has it has a story on it, like a drawing.
Yes.
How did you achieve it?
Okay, looking at this now, you can see white, you can see brown, and then shapes of brown. This brown is more than this one. And then you can still see black on it. And then if you look at up here, you can see something like more lighter brown on it as well too. What there is that the first color is white. Okay. And then I use kind of white to trace all the parts that you see the white on it. Okay. So that after that one, I dye it to the color, which is lightest color here. Anytime I want to do this color, I go from light color to darker color. Okay. So when I do the lighter color here, then I dip it to then I cover it with wax. Okay. And after I cover it with wax, and then I take it to another color, which is this brown. After that one again, I allow it to dry, and I still cover this one with the wax again. I bring it again the wax, and then I dye it to this darker brown. I still come back and cover it with wax again. Then later, I soak it to this color, which is black, to be the final color. So all of the fabric has been full of wax before I could finish. But I apply it one after the other. I let one color to dry before I could apply wax on it. Go further.
And this could take like how long?
This could take now something like 3 days, 4 days.
3 days?
Yes.
Wow. Yes. That's a lot.
Yes.
You know, people see these things and just assume. I would have thought it was so easy to make.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what there is that there are different parts of it, because there are some parts that actually it's very easy, just like tan dye. It's not that too hard to make. Or you want to do marbling, you squeeze on the floor and then you do it. It's not that too. But if you want to do very complicated designs that to do with the drawing like this, actually, it's not everybody that can actually do that. Some actually even they can just do some simple one like maybe like a tan dye order. But if you really want to do some other complicated design like this, you must be somebody you can draw or you learn how to draw. Yes.
So we were talking about the patterns on, you know, on the fabric.
Yeah.
Are there symbolic meanings to the fabric, to the patterns? You know, is there another meaning aside from what is?
Yes, actually, there's a meaning, because just like in the olden days, we communicate with signs and symbols.
Okay.
And most of these signs and symbols are things we are using on the fabric most time in the olden days. Just like if you look at my shirt now, there's some symbols. And if you look at this one as a drawing there, the title of this one is called Celebration, because on it you can see drums, different kind of musical instrument on it. So because most of this one are being used wherever they want to do kind of occasions. So that's why the title of this one is fabric I'm wearing. It's actually titled Celebration.
Okay. Yes. So it takes someone who understands motifs to understand.
Yes, to understand, because there are different ways we communicate with motifs in the olden days. It's just now that we actually don't know, most time we don't understand the motive because we have several ways of communications.
Yeah.
Like in the olden days, if somebody wants to write a letter, there's no book that time, and then you want to communicate something to the next particular village or kingdom, you could send like a leaf or like a particular tree or like a flag. So when they look at it, they can read or Bitacola and know what they're talking about. And Bitacola is in different forms. There are some that can just open them into 2, into 3, into 4, the different Bitacolas. So if you send somebody a particular Bitacola that you can only open into 2, they know what you are talking about. If it's one that can open to 3, you know what you're talking about. Or if somebody's not around and then the wife has been given bath, they can send like a particular sponge, soap, and another thing. So when you look at a leaf, when you look at, you know, your wife has been given bath, so and so day, either, you know it's day, and then either is a male child or female child, or a twins, or even triplets. You can look and read it. And if a king is looking for another king's trouble or friendship, they could send a sign or symbol. When you collect it and then you open it, you will know what they were talking about. Or a danger is coming to a particular place. That's the way they can communicate and send it. When you look at it, you know. Or even though that's the way you can arrange the wood and you are going on the road, you will know, I heard that's a danger. You need to talk about it in form of caution sign.
Wow, that's very interesting. Let's go on a short break.
Okay.
We'll be right back shortly. Please don't go nowhere. You're welcome back, and it's still Creative Lounge, and with me here is Mr. Abimbola Oluwalo Seth, the workshop manager of Nikkei Art Gallery, and we're here talking about tie and dye batik. Just before we went on break, you were talking about the messages, you know, that these fabrics carry.
Yes.
You know, and you were talking about the hidden messages during those days, you know, where someone wants to, like what you're wearing right now, which means celebration.
Yes.
But there's this narrative that, you know, it is believed that women wear more of batik and tie and dye. Is it changing now? Because you're a man now, you're wearing something like this.
Yes, actually what it is that look like the fashion industry. Most time women patronize fashion designer a lot.
Okay.
Because, for example, in a month now, you know, women can use a lot of money to buy a lot of fabric, but not like a man. Man thinks of some other things most times. Although there are some also have man too, that also are fashionista as well too. But in terms of that, like now we have a lot of, and sometimes depending on personality. Okay. There are some people who actually normally look for what we do, like Adirian batik, that's what they love to wear, either a man or a woman, or a woman that every month or every week, just we have to produce for them.
Okay.
So those are kind of particular people's identity as well too. But even up to now, women still patronize the adire more than men.
Okay. And the market, what's it like? Is it going international? Like
Yes, the market now, actually everybody is demanding for the market. Just like a couple of last week now, weekend, I was in particular place, like one of the lifetimes, and all in the compound is the white people that actually live in the place. So they call some artists, some of us, a few artists to come and just display work. And when they look at it, a lot of them patronize us a lot. And apart from that one, if you look at a lot of celebrity now, they were wearing adire. I've seen a lot of celebrities that are reaching out to us, they will want to wear adire for photo shoots, this and that and that. And even though if you look at the minister, when we did our opening ceremony here, and then the Minister of Women Affairs came around, she bought adire as well too. And a lot of people everybody's wearing adire. Not like in the olden days. Before in the olden days, only people that wear, although in the past, only the rich can wear adire. And then get a time that the rich actually left the adire for poor. But now, rich has hijacked the market back now that they want to wear, because we can use several things to do adire, like a silk, like a chiffon and organza, which are expensive fabric. So adire can be on it. So that means now a lot of people, and looking at it in Africa, everybody looking at Africa because we have a lot of messages in our work. And that's why we're creative in everything we do. So now, from different parts of the world now, there's a lot of demand. From UK, from US, from other parts, from several parts of the world now, people are demanding for the work, what we do.
So what is the lowest amount one could, get a fabric, an adire fabric like this?
Fabric, that's one depending on your locations and depending on where you are buying it from.
Okay.
Just like, it's artwork. Different kind of people have different way they do the artwork. You have to look at some of the materials you use, some of durability and that thing. So the market price actually is very good.
Okay.
Yes.
So it could be in the range of 5,000, 10,000, depending on where I'm getting it from.
And depending on who does the fabric and the material the person used for the fabric.
Okay. The other time I came in, I saw you teaching some students, some youths, how to make.
Yeah.
You have a workshop going on here?
Yes. We have a workshop going on here that we admit both permanent students and also the IT students.
Okay.
Some institutions normally send their students to our organization here to come and learn how to make adire and also other arts as well too.
Okay.
So sometimes they send them for like a 3 months industrial training, 4 months, 6 months, and 1 year as well too.
Okay.
And some other people who think they want to learn adire and they want to do it, we are doing authentic ones, so they send them to us as well too for them to train them.
Okay. And when they're done, they get certified?
When they are done this place, actually when most of them come to this place, because what we're actually doing here is different what they are doing in school.
Okay.
Because here in a school, actually sometimes they tell a lot of grammar, that thing, but here, anything they do, we make sure they do it to the level that people can buy it from them. And then also, we show them the market value of it as well too. So that means when they come here, before they leave that 4 months, they become a complete artist.
Yes, that's true, because I remember when I was in secondary school, I did fine art in school, so I was able to do it, some part of it. I did some part of tie and dye and batik, but to be honest, I can't remember how to make it. But I think I'll enroll in a workshop and.
Yes, of course. Anybody can, even if you still want to come and learn from us as well too, because you're always welcome.
I will.
Yes, we can do. And not only that, a lot of foreigners do come around and we train them. So sometimes when they come to Nigeria and say, okay, what are we taking back home? Well, let's just learn this. And like some few couples days ago now, the program, he invited me to a particular place today. I told you that I went for exhibition. A lot of people actually met me and say, oh, we would love to learn this thing before we leave Nigeria. I say, okay, no problem. We can schedule an appointment with you. And sometimes most of the people that only work in the embassy, almost all the embassies in Abuja have organized a workshop for them on this and that, and some other international organizations as well too. So it means it's something that people actually in society today, everybody love it.
This is a made in Nigerian fabric.
Yes.
So how do you think this is going to, be of importance to Nigerian economy?
Okay, yes, of course. This actually have a lot of way to add to Nigerian GDP, because like if you go to another country, actually fashion has gone a lot that they contribute to the GDP. And what there is that if government actually can come in and then make sure that they develop a lot of, for example, like National Gallery for Art, if they can have like galleries and they have like workshops too, and then different government parastatals have to do with art, if they also can come in and also come here to help people actually are doing the Adire. Although back of industry I try, because on the list now to give like a loan, facility loan, Adire is like the number one on the list.
Okay.
Yes, so that means they put priority on it that way too. So, but if we can do more, that if the government can organize more workshops, I've been in some other workshops that they come youth and that's it. So, if there can be more workshop on that, so that a lot of youth can learn this, and then by that time they pick interest. So, by doing that one, a lot of we can have so many people can invest in it that way too. The more order we get, the more taxi people can pay to people, and then the more employer of labor that will become in society as well too.
Okay. So, last question. There are people watching you out there, and they admire what you're wearing.
Okay.
So, tell them why it's important to wear made in Nigeria, made in Nigerian fabrics, and how it's going to be of importance to them as well as Nigeria.
Yes, of course. Made in Nigeria actually have a way going long. Wearing it actually have a long way to go to want to promote Nigeria, and then two, to make you look make you look unique and make you look nice. Because I've seen a lot of people, not only in Nigeria, even in the ASEAN country, that when they left out, they look at the Nigerian fabric and say, wow, is it coming from Nigeria? Say yes. Are you sure? Say yes. They're ready to pay any amount of money on it. And what there is that sometimes people look at Nigerian made, it probably is inferior, material we use. No, we use a lot of durable materials for what we actually produce in Nigeria right now.
Okay.
If you go some different parts, even though Abba and other parts, and like Nigeria is doing well. So by wearing it as well too, it's going to encourage somebody, because you buy somebody's work, you're going to encourage somebody, and they can feed somebody's family by enjoying that way too. And apart from that one, you're actually promoting the cultural heritage, because most of the motifs and signs that are on the fabric as well too, somebody is going to look at it and can read it, and it can be of meaning to them as well too. Just like, and apart from that one, is someone can look at it, admire, can give somebody joy as well too. Because if you look at the color we do say now, we use like a beautiful color. If the dark color, we make it arrange it nicely. If it's a shouting color, we make it look at to flashy as well too. So those are colors that we produce now in order to make people happy as well too. It goes in a long way.
Okay. You heard what he said. This is an avenue for you to make money. You can come to this workshop they do over here in Nikkei Art Gallery and enroll in the tie and dye batik workshop. These fabrics are not just for fashion alone. They carry meaningful messages, just like what he's wearing. It's called celebration, you know. And as an artist, you shouldn't just have artworks in your house alone. You can actually wear artwork, which is what he's doing right now. There's so much to do in the art industry. This is how much you can take today on Creative Lounge. My name is Ahmed Mohamed Bello. Join us same time, same station next week. Bye for now.